Let's start with the ones that are just terrifying. We will work our way towards the hellish nightmares. Number 9 is the Emerald Killer. This is the most fashionable way to die in the 19th century. It starts with a chemical called copper acetoarsenite. In 1814, a German company realized it made a beautiful green dye. They decided to call it Scheele's Green. They dumped thousands of gallons of it into the Victorian fashion market. Rich women wanted dresses that popped under the gaslights, so they bought ball gowns soaked in pure arsenic. I will be placing you in a London ballroom right now. You are wearing a stunning emerald green gown. You look fantastic and everyone is jealous of you, but the room is hot and you start to sweat. That was a terrible decision for your internal organs. The arsenic in the fabric dissolves into your perspiration. It seeps directly into your pores like a toxic sponge. Within an hour, your skin breaks out in weeping sores. You feel a burning sensation in your stomach and throat. You collapse on the dance floor while vomiting blood. The doctor says it is cholera, but he is wrong. You have been poisoned by your own wardrobe. Let's try that again with a full hazmat suit. You are now safe from the skin absorption, but you are still breathing the dust flaking off the skirt. The candles in the room heat up the fabric. This releases toxic arsenic vapors directly into your nose. You survive the night, but your hair falls out next week. Honestly, that is a pretty slow death compared to this. Number 8 is the Stoop Chair. This is the most cursed piece of furniture in England. It belonged to a murderer named Thomas Busby in 1702. He was hanged for killing his father-in-law with a hammer. Before he died, he put a curse on his favorite oak chair. He said death would come to anyone who sat in it. For 300 years, people thought it was a joke until they started dying in freak accidents immediately after sitting. I will be placing you in the Thirsk Museum right now. The chair is hanging on the wall to stop idiots from sitting. But you are not scared of 18th century ghost stories. You take the chair down and sit comfortably. It feels like a normal, hard, wooden chair. You stand up and walk out of the museum feeling fine. That was a fatal mistake for your future. You get into your car to drive home. The brakes fail on a straight road for no reason. You crash into a tree and die instantly. Let's try that again. But you don't drive home. You decide to walk home to be safe. A delivery truck loses control and swerves onto the sidewalk. The curse does not care about your transportation method. The museum actually had to hang it from the ceiling. They realized they could not stop people from testing fate. Number 7 is the Fire Starter Portrait. This is the most incendiary painting in British history. It is a mass-produced print called The Crying Boy. It was sold in department stores all over the UK in the 1980s. Firefighters started noticing a terrifying pattern in house fires. Everything in the house would be burned to ash, except for this cheap painting of a crying child. It would be sitting face up in the rubble, completely untouched. You are now hanging this painting in your living room. It looks a bit creepy, but it was on sale. You go to sleep and leave the heater on. A spark from the wire lands on the carpet. The fire spreads faster than it should. You wake up choking on thick black smoke. You manage to crawl out the window just in time. You watch your entire life burn to the ground. The next morning, you sift through the black wreckage. There is the boy staring up at you perfectly clean. He almost looks like he is smiling now. Scientists say it is because of the fire retardant varnish, but the firefighters refuse to have one in their own homes. Number 6 is the Basano Vase. This is the most persistent serial killer in Italy. It is a simple silver vase made in the 15th century. Legend says it was a wedding gift for a bride in Naples. She was found dead on her wedding night, clutching the vase. Her family found a note inside, written in ancient text. It simply said, "Beware, because this vase brings death." They ignored the warning and passed it to a cousin. He died of a fever 3 days later. It was sold to an apothecary who died 3 months later. I will be placing you in a Roman antique shop right now. You are looking for a nice centerpiece for your table. You see the silver vase and think it looks classy. You buy it for 4 million lira and take it home. That was a fatal financial decision for your household. You place it on your dining room table. The next morning, you feel a bit dizzy. By lunch, you are coughing up blood into the sink. By dinner, you are dead on the kitchen floor. The police find the vase and sell it at an auction. The next buyer dies, and the next one dies too. The police finally realize the vase is the common denominator. They literally buried it in a lead box in an unknown location. They decided it was safer to treat it like nuclear waste. Honestly, that is better than buying ghosts on the internet. Number 5 is the eBay haunting. This is the most cursed JPEG on the entire internet. It is a painting called The Hands Resist Him. It features a stone-faced boy and a creepy doll. In the year 2000, a couple found it abandoned behind an old brewery. They put it on eBay with a terrifying disclaimer. They claimed the characters in the painting moved at night. The listing went viral and terrified millions of people. I will be placing you in front of your computer right now. You see the auction and decide to be a hero. You bid nearly $1,000 to win the curse. The painting arrives wrapped in brown paper and tape. You hang it in your bedroom to prove it is is fake, you set up a motion-activated camera to record it. You go to sleep, feeling smug and skeptical. You wake up screaming because you can't breathe. You check the camera footage from 3 in the morning. The boy in the painting is physically crawling out of the frame. The plastic doll is holding a gun to his head. You try to burn it, but the canvas won't catch fire. You sell it to a gallery just to get it out. The gallery owner dies within a year of the purchase. Number 4 is the Dybbuk Box. This is the reason you never buy used wine cabinets. In 2001, a furniture restorer named Kevin Manis bought this. It was an estate sale for a Holocaust survivor. Her granddaughter told him to never ever open it. She said a malicious spirit called a Dybbuk lived inside. Kevin laughed and put it in his basement workshop. Half an hour later, the lights in his shop exploded. A terrible smell of cat urine and jasmine filled the room. I will be placing you in Kevin's workshop right now. You decide to crack open the doors to see the ghost. You find 2 pennies and a lock of blonde hair. You also find a granite statue engraved with Hebrew letters. You think this is just a pile of weird junk. You suddenly feel a sharp pain in your chest. You collapse onto the concrete floor with a massive stroke. Your mother comes to visit and touches the box. She instantly suffers a stroke and loses her ability to speak. Kevin gave the box to a skeptic friend. The friend developed a rare skin disease within days. They finally hid the box in a secret location. It is currently considered the most dangerous object in America. Number 3 is the Warren doll. This is the most famous haunted object in America. It is a Raggedy Ann doll locked in a glass box. It sits in the Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. It was terrorizing a student nurse in the 1970s. The doll would move rooms and write notes on parchment. The notes said things like, "Help us," in a child's handwriting. Ed and Lorraine. Warren claimed it was a demonic conduit. They built a special case with warning signs to contain it. I will be placing you in the Warren Museum right now. You are looking at the doll through the glass. You think it is just a stupid toy, and you laugh. You tap on the glass and challenge the doll to hurt you. That was the last mistake you will ever make. You leave the museum and get on your motorcycle. You are driving down a straight road in perfect weather. Your brakes fail and you lose control of the bike. You crash into a tree and die instantly. This actually happened to a young man in the 1980s. The Warrens say the spirit attached itself to him. It followed him home just to prove a point. Even the priests who bless the museum won't look at it. They say looking into its eyes is an invitation. Number 2 is the Radioactive Notebook. This is the deadliest diary in French history. It belonged to the Nobel Prize winner Marie Curie. She discovered radium and polonium in the early 1900s. She used to carry radioactive isotopes in her pockets. She died of aplastic anemia because her marrow melted, but her personal effects are still killing people today. Her cookbooks and papers are highly radioactive. I will be placing you in the Bibliothèque Nationale in Paris. You want to read her original research notes. You have to sign a liability waiver just to enter the room. You are wearing protective gear, but you take a glove off. You touch the paper to turn the page. That was a fatal error for your DNA. The half-life of radium-226 is about 1600 years. The radiation burns your fingertips instantly. It alters your cellular structure and causes cancer. You will likely develop leukemia within a few years. The library keeps them in lead-lined boxes for a reason. They are not safe for human contact until the year 3500. Number 1 is the Demon Core. This is the most aggressive sphere of metal on Earth. It is a 14-pound ball of plutonium made in World War II. It was supposed to be the 3rd atomic bomb for Japan, but the war ended, so the scientists kept it. They started playing a dangerous game called Tickling the Dragon. They would lower a beryllium dome over the core. This reflected neutrons back and increased the reaction. I will be placing you in the Los Alamos lab in 1946. You are the brilliant scientist Louis Slotin. You are holding the dome open with a flathead screwdriver. Your hand slips by a fraction of an inch. The dome closes, and the core goes supercritical. A flash of blue light fills the entire room. You feel a wave of heat wash over your body. You instantly jerk the dome off and stop the reaction, but the damage is already done to your cells. You tell your colleagues to mark their positions on the floor. You know you are already a dead man walking. Your DNA has been shredded by a neutron burst. You die 9 days later in total agony. Your internal organs literally liquefy inside you. The core was melted down so it could never kill again. Honestly, we are sick of these cursed objects. We are terrified and we are going home. Don't buy used furniture.